Hello, my name is Crystal Myers-Barber, and I just want to make mention that I was banned from YouTube for a week from posting, and I'm now banned on Facebook from doing any lives and community posts and some other restrictions. But I want to welcome you to my channel and also let you know that I am over on Rumble, and you can find me. Well, Twitter is fading out somewhat, but it's Promo Girl 07. But tonight we have some stories that are breaking. One of them being Mike Lindell, and he's the pillow guy. And I just want to mention he's one of Donald Trump's biggest supporters. He was photographed coming into the White House today. He met actually with the president, and this is trending all over the web right now, with a photographer that, let's see, he's actually pinned the tweet up to his page. His name is Javin and Botsford, and he's a staff photographer at the Washington Post. He somehow took this picture, and this is, like I said, it's trending everywhere. And he called the CEO of the My Pillow guy, pretty much walking in to the West Wing at the White House on Friday, January the 15th in DC, and somehow captured a part of the notes. And so we're going to head over to one of what I feel is one of the most reliable sources that I frequently will go to these days, and that is the Epic Times. You do have to pay to see their stories, and I highly recommend giving them. They're definitely, conservative, and I trust their source. So I would give them a subscription. So anyway, let's just see what they're saying here. These notes that were taken by this photographer, basically they were able to capture some pieces of what was being said, and I'm just kind of going to go over, some of those pieces with you. And it basically looks like it was pointing to martial law and the Insurrection Act. Many people have, wondered if President would leave office. And so let's piece together basically, what basically, he is saying here. And, my next question is, are they gaslighting the media with this? Because since this is just taking off everywhere and everybody's trying to understand, and it's just kind of comical to go on Twitter and just put in My Pillow, Mike Lindell, and just, see what people are saying. They're just going nuts trying to figure it out. So let's just take a look. I was thinking I had some of this. So basically what they could make out is, however, the title of the document reads, Take it immediately to save the Constitution. Move Kash Patel to the CIA acting is also visible in the notes. The document appears to mention martial law, if necessary, upon the first hint of any, and then it says read the notes. It's hard to tell what exactly the document is about, and it's unclear what was discussed during the meeting between Mike Lindell and the president. And I did see that he was only there, he said himself, I was only there 5 to 10 minutes. But Lindell did take up an interview with the Epic Times and discussed it, and he's told them that it wasn't even an official thing, that it was from a lawyer who said it was a suggestion for him, he said. The White House didn't immediately respond to a request for details about this meeting. And then this is the picture that's trending everywhere. So right here. As I showed you. So we had that going on. According to a Washington Examiner report, which Lindell posted on Twitter, he said he shared with Trump and White House lawyers a document advising the president to replace CIA Director Gina Haspel, but he said he was just a messenger for an attorney, which he didn't name. Lindell said he met with Trump and an attorney for about 10 minutes in the Oval Office. The meeting was scheduled for Thursday. Trump read the document and returned it to him. Lindell denied that the document says martial law if necessary. Pool reporters said Lindell entered the West Wing at 3:05 p.m. He declined when he was asked to come before the pool reporters to answer questions. I'm sure you'll write something nice, he told the reporters. And really, Mike Lindell, he's a hit on CNN and on everywhere. I really don't find many people that don't like the guy. I think he's tremendous. So let's move over to another story. Many people are saying that there's going to be a shortage in supplies, and many people are, they're spreading the word that there's going to be power grid shutdowns and such and such and such. You've probably heard about the emergency broadcast system and all that. Well, I just want to give you evidence. I saw live footage tonight, and I have this in the end of my video. I'm going to include it, where port delays leave cargo ships stranded off the U.S. Pacific gateways. And I saw it tonight. On the 15th of January, I have, an eyewitness account of this. A flood of container imports and depleted dockside workforce that left a growing fleet offshore near America's big trade gateways. Now, let me just tell you, this is the Long Beach port that I'm discussing specifically. And there were, it's at nighttime, so you're going to see this footage. So these are these big container ships, and they've arrived to come to the port of Los Angeles and Long Beach. And basically they cannot dock because the workforce has been depleted. I heard because of sickness. That's where the word is out on the street. So we have 40 cargo ships with tens of thousands of containers aboard, as this article is saying. This is the Wall Street Journal, and this is, let's see the date of this one. Oh, the 13th. So, today being the 15th, that means they've been at sea since this article has been, written up, and I don't know how many days they've been there. So we're looking at a couple days already, 13, 14, three days. And so basically, a surge in shipping volumes that began in late summer and rose during the holiday season has continued into the new year as retailers and manufacturers try to rebuild inventories that were depleted at the onset of the COVID pandemic. The neighboring Southern California ports, which together handle more than a third of all containers coming into the U.S. And I want to just tell you, we were trading $1 billion a day coming into our ports here. But we've seen record number of boxes, even as dock workers have struggled to cope with the rising CV cases. So I knew this was what it was going to be about. I'm just reading this with you for the first time. And what will happen is they'll do a test. And so if one person has a positive result, they'll shut the whole building down. So here we go. So I knew this was why. I was right. It was going to be about the China virus. Huge numbers of medical supplies keep on coming, along with furniture, appliances, construction material, landscaping, hot tubs, and anything related to outdoors, said an executive of the Port of Long Beach. The Americans that have not been impacted by COVID will continue to spend, and the surge could go on through late spring. The backlogs have left many retailers waiting weeks for goods struck on seas, at ship, or at the port, hitting small and medium-sized companies with lean operations particularly hard. There's been all kinds of supply chain problems affecting us directly for the past year, says Abby Durkin, the owner of Palmer and Purchase Women's Clothing and Accessories in New York. We had a popular sweater that so basically she's getting into some fashion stuff, and she's looking like she's talking about this clothing line was coming from a vendor in LA who imported from China. So basically this China thing, we're seeing a China, I know Trump just signed something on an executive order a couple days ago on China. So this is basically affecting New York. It's affecting stores all over, retailers, Big Lots. Said in an earnings conference call Wednesday that backlogs have added storage charges for imported containers delayed at ports are providing significant challenges to the company's profit margins. The peak season for liner ships usually starts in late August, when Western retailers start stocking up for the year end, and eases in November. We're all getting a lesson here. I'm sorry I'm giving you so much information, but I am finding this very informative, so I'm going to keep going here. So we have this stocking up situation and eases off into November before coming to a near standstill at the Lunar New Year holiday in February, when China's factories close for 10 days. But this year, the import surge started in early summer, stretching supply chains as China's export engine heated up and Western retailers scrambled to restock following CV lockdowns in the spring. We're still locked down here, by the way, and it's killing our businesses. So we're going on. I'm adding things. LA and Long Beach handled 909,021 inbound containers. That is a lot of ships. A lot of containers that coming in on ships, that is. In October, that is amazing. More than double the number the ports saw in March at the outset of the pandemic. The Pacific Merchant Shipping Association, which represents ship operators that serve the West Coast, said about a quarter of all inbound containers waited more than 5 days on docks to be delivered to customers in October and November, compared with between 2 and 4% in the first half of 2020. So we're just going into some things. We are all stretched very thin, whether it's warehouse workers, truck drivers, or longshore workers, said Jean Soroka, executive director at the Port of LA. Storage facilities are full and have staffing issues because of social distancing, and this extends to the trucking community and the docks. And you know, I just want to add, the social distancing thing is affecting everything out here around Southern California. We stand in line, we have to social distance, and it takes 3, 4, 5 times longer when you go to any store because there's lines, social distancing, they won't let people in stores. This has just become a crazy world we're living in. And it's apparently going to affect stock, as we're seeing here in this, article. Employers at port terminals are undertaking the strenuous testing for COVID, officials said. This is another thing, that they're just almost like they're doing this on purpose. And they're testing these people in certain places like a lot. And they're taking hours, breaks, days between daily shifts to disinfect equipment. At the same time, rising numbers of workers are calling in sick. We have serious concerns with the positive numbers we see at the waterfront, said the Long Beach Port's Mr. Cordero. There were 2, they're going to do this to us right now. We're going to go down the CV death. There were 2 deaths alone last week in San Pedro complex. We were concerned about the labor. Well, they're just assuming it's COVID. The Marine Exchange of Southern California, which monitors vessel movement, said 48 vessels were waiting. So anyway, it just goes over the docking delays, and it just goes on a lot of information that I expected. Ship landings in LA until the first week of March will be very strong and upwards year on year. We are in a pandemic buying surge. People are spending money, and looks like they're not going to be able to get their supplies, and I knew something was going on, so I looked up the story. I'm going to show you the video in my next clip. And I want to just thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed a couple of these stories here that I'm just trying to give to you tonight. Many people are getting censored, so I'm looking forward to seeing you over on Rumble, and I hear Telegram has gotten really hot. Thanks for watching. God bless. Today is Friday, January the 15th, 2021. We're looking at a live view of the Pacific Ocean, and that is Huntington Beach Pier. And to the left of this pier, and also to the right, as far as the eye really can see, there are cargo ships out there that are unable to dock. Right now I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the left side, and then I do have footage on the other side of the pier. The reason they are unable to dock, I've heard, is because of the sicknesses that are going on over there in Long Beach. I will tell you more. When they do have one case of COVID, they will shut down an entire business. And I need to research this a little more, but this is, a live view of what's happening.